Hey Roman, we want to make sure you have an enjoyable time with your feathercraft when it gets out there. So Taylor's manning the camera, and
I'm not any good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Anyway, he's manning the camera, so we're going to go over everything. We got the ownership papers right here. I guess I can put the stickers on, come to think of it, on the boat, but so you don't have to do that. In here we have a first aid kit. We have a audible signal that we hope you don't need. There's some instructions on how to open the lid on your gas cans. Apparently that's rocket science, and you got to have instructions for that. But anyway, those are in
rocket surgery.
Rocket surgery. There you go. Brain science.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you have. We'll go over the switches here real quick. We're about ready to load this on the trailer, so that's why I want to cover all this right now. Navigation lights are right there. Oh, by the way, we never did find you a navigation light or a stern light that you liked. So you'll have to, if you're going to be out at night, to keep somebody from running over you from the back, you'll need to get one of those. Until you find something you like, we need to get one of those portable ones that clamps on. Navigation light. This is your bilge pump. You can probably hear it. It works automatically as well as manually. This is so that's down there. So I just turned it on manually. Got a horn button right next to the steering wheel, and then you have your starter button here. And then you have your key switch. Your key switch works exactly backwards. This is on, and that's off. So the way these outboard motors work, you short them out to stop them. So when you're thinking you're turning the key switch on, you're actually turning it off. So that'll be on. This is a kill switch, and you can hook this lanyard up to your life jacket. Should you be or your swimsuit? Should you be thrown out, it'll pull your swimsuit off, or no, it'll shut the engine off instead of pull your swimsuit off. All right, and then we have a fire extinguisher up here as well, mounted behind about where your left leg will be. All right, now one little nuance here is this is neutral position, but sometimes in the neutral position, the neutral start switch, it won't let you hit the starter button, or it won't let you. You can hit starter button, it won't let the starter start while it's in gear, motor start while it's in gear. So sometimes you'll bring that back to neutral, and here's a situation right there. You're in neutral, but the neutral switch hasn't engaged. So what I do is I hold the start switch down, and I move this until my starter's going to work, and then I know that that I'm ready to roll. Right here is while you're in neutral. If you want to speed up the engine because it's wanting to die, you can rev the engine with this lever while you're in neutral. All right. Once you can't go into gear while this is revved up. It'll lock you from going into gear, but then you can put it back down to an idle, and you can go into gear and go on. All right. So the other thing I'll show you is back here in the back. When the engine is cold, it has to be choked to be started. And what that's referring to is we hold back some air by pulling this knob here. That creates that blocks off some air going in, and that creates a richer gasoline mixture. And so that the engine needs for starting when it's cold. And then here's your other start button back here. So what I do is when I've got to start it when it's cold, I'll lean back here. I'll make sure it's in neutral, and that when I hit this button, that's going to start, and I'll pull my choke out, and I'll hit this button back here on the engine, which does the same thing as the button up front, and I can start the engine. Don't start the engine when it's not in the water. You can rotate it about as long as I did, and that's it, because inside the engine here is a water pump impeller. Inside here is a water pump impeller, and if you run it too long without water to lubricate it, it will melt inside here, and it won't pump water once it melts. let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, this is when you're transporting the boat, you want to have, this supports the motor instead of the transom having to support the motor. So while you're bouncing down the road, this needs to be in place so that the motor is supported by the trailer instead of by the transom. It'll rip the transom right off the boat if you drive enough miles.
Or if you hit the right bump.
Or if you hit the right bump. Yeah, that's exactly right. Matter of fact, on your Barracuda, the transom was just almost completely off the Barracuda by the time it made it back here to Kentucky. So, onboard battery charger, and we've actually got it charging right now. We've got all the information on the boats in that packet. So,
if you onboard battery charger, all you got to do is just get your extension cord and plug it in. So. Plug it in.
So anyway, windshield maintenance. I put a bottle of scratch remover in it. You typically don't use glass cleaner on it. You use something that's made for plastic. This is a plastic cleaner that will remove scratches and everything. So it's not very expensive. I think it's like $15 or $20 bottle, and we'll put that in. It's full. It's brand new. Well, it's dusty looking, but it's brand new. And we'll put that in the box with some polish for the boat, should you need to polish it. And one other, I guess we have drastically reduced the leakage. We've welded on the keel down here, and we bucked all the rivets. We actually had to take the seat tops off. We were going to cut a hole. We were going to cut a hole down here, but when we filled the boat with water and actually looked at where all the leaks were happening, some of them were happening well up on the side here where this is riveted in. So the guys took the tops of the seats off, both seats, and riveted in there. So anyway, hopefully you have lots of great times with this boat, and look forward to getting a report on how it's doing for you. Thanks, Roman.